This is my talk on abstraction. My name is Karin Hoff. I'm an information architect at the Understanding Group. And this talk was originally given at Ann Arbor Ignite UX. So when I first started working at TUG, I noticed a significant difference. When I was leaving meetings, I was leaving meetings and goals had been set and progress had been made. My colleagues were kicking butt. I was used to feeling regret at the end of meetings, like, oh, I should have gone better. But they were doing something better. And I think their secret sauce is abstraction, here being the intentional filtering of information to focus a conversation on the core goal or goals. So here's an abstraction Richard Saul Wurman made of the Tokyo subway system. It takes away all of the information a passenger doesn't need to know if they're riding around underground, how to get from point A to point B, and where to switch stops. Here's an abstraction that still includes the geographical information, which would be appropriate for a conversation that involved the street layout. You'd need this information. So some abstraction best practices would be, if it's going to distract from the conversation, omit it. Pick a model based on new information, not stuffing information into the models you're comfortable working with that already have created. And clear is not necessarily less, and it could even be more. We must choose carefully the model through which we hold conversations. If we're giving someone direction and we use a map, it might be very helpful for those who are directionally blessed, know the names of street names. But for some of us, walking through a park, past that big tree, up the hill is more helpful, these landmark-based directions. And north doesn't have to be up for some of us. Here is a traditional wireframe. Presented this to a client in order to talk about right-hand navigation. It's a different kind of choice, typically not what we do, in a quote-unquote traditional website. And I wasn't able to have that conversation. If I had abstracted even further away from a website, not a wireframe, but a sketch, included both right and left, we could have had a conversation about what the effect of these choices were going to be on the site. Instead, had all this extra information that was going to distract from the conversation, and the client ended up only asking me to add bullet points to the lorem ipsum, and we never got to have those deep structural conversations. So when we do user testing, we have all this concrete data. If we give that to the stakeholder, they're going to see the things they expect to see. They have clear ideas of what they're expecting to get back about their product. They're just going to fit that concrete data into buckets. Now, if we don't give them a concrete, but we give them an abstraction instead, we can help them discover. An example of this would be a customer journey. So customer journeys isn't actually what happened. It's a plausible story. Here the rows are 3 properties plus an external row. And it clearly shows that to accomplish their goals, users are bopping in between sites like crazy, and starts to suggest a solution. So going into a meeting with this abstraction, having a conversation with the client, it's clear that they need to consolidate these 3 properties and do a coherent environment for these users. And everybody can be on board and know why they believe in the solution, know why we're going to go forward in this way. Another way this works is when you're doing your original meeting, you have all these people in the room. They all have great information, clear desires. And then if one of those people is the big boss guy, people aren't less likely to share. And sometimes they share, but it's just so clear politically that their opinion doesn't matter. If we take all that information anonymously, see the trends, make a prioritized goal list, and then have a meeting with all those people in the room, we can discuss that goal list and really figure out what's going to be best for the project or product. Wanted to remind you the best practices here as we're wrapping up. And I'd like to keep the conversation going. I mean, this is an interesting thing, and sometimes abstraction's not possible. Sometimes we have to get the user to analyze raw data. What do we do then? So I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all, and thanks for listening.